The alchemist Paulo Coelho, imagine you're sitting by your window late at night, watching the stars scattered across the endless sky, and a question suddenly surfaces from somewhere deep within you. It's not a practical question about tomorrow's obligations or yesterday's mistakes, but something far more mysterious. What if the life you were meant to live is completely different from the one you're living now? What if there's a secret language written in the events around you, waiting to guide you toward a destiny you've barely dared to imagine? This haunting possibility lies at the heart of Paulo Coelho's timeless tale, where a young shepherd named Santiago abandons everything familiar to chase a recurring dream about treasure hidden near distant pyramids. But The Alchemist reveals itself to be much more than an adventure story. It's a mirror reflecting back one of humanity's most profound and persistent yearnings, the search for what Coelho calls our personal legend, that unique purpose written into the very fabric of our being. In an age where external voices constantly tell us who we should become and what we should want, this ancient wisdom poses an urgent modern question. How do we distinguish between the dreams others have planted in us and the calling that springs from our deepest truth? The concept of personal legend unfolds like a gentle revolution against everything we've been taught about success and security. You discover that it's not about climbing predetermined ladders or fulfilling societal expectations, but about recognizing and following the unique thread of meaning that runs through your individual existence. Santiago's journey suggests that each person carries within them a kind of spiritual DNA, a calling so fundamental that ignoring it leads to a life of quiet desperation, while pursuing it unleashes forces you never knew existed. This idea challenges the modern assumption that we can engineer our happiness through careful planning and rational choices. Instead, the alchemist proposes something far more mysterious, that your deepest purpose already knows you, has been calling to you through dreams, intuitions, and inexplicable longings, waiting patiently for you to listen. The treasure Santiago seeks becomes a metaphor for this inner gold, this authentic self that can only be discovered through the courage to venture into unknown territories, both external and internal. What makes this pursuit even more intriguing is Coelho's exploration of synchronicity, the mystical suggestion that once you begin following your personal legend, the universe itself becomes your ally. You start noticing meaningful coincidences, chance meetings that feel anything but accidental, doors opening just when you need them most. Santiago's encounters with the mysterious King Melchizedek, the crystal merchant, and the alchemist himself seem to appear precisely when he needs guidance, as if the very fabric of reality were conspiring to support his quest. This raises profound questions about the nature of guidance in your own life. How many apparent coincidences have you dismissed that might have been invitations to step more fully into your authentic path? The novel suggests that omens and signs surround you constantly, written in the language of symbols, emotions, and unexpected opportunities. Learning to read this language becomes a form of spiritual literacy, a way of navigating life that transcends purely rational decision-making. Yet Coelho doesn't present this mystical guidance as passive wishful thinking. Santiago faces real obstacles, moments of doubt, and the constant temptation to abandon his quest for more immediate comforts. The crystal merchant represents this safer path, someone who once had dreams but chose security instead, creating a prison of predictability. You recognize this figure perhaps because you felt the merchant's pull yourself, the seductive whisper that says comfort is worth more than calling, that dreams are luxuries you can't afford. The tension between material security and spiritual authenticity weaves throughout Santiago's story like a recurring melody. You watch him struggle with this same choice that confronts every modern person, whether to pursue what you think you should want or what your heart insists you need. The novel suggests that true treasure isn't found in external accumulations, but in the transformation that occurs when you have the courage to follow your deepest calling, regardless of where it leads. Love emerges as both a powerful ally and a complex test along this journey of self-discovery. Santiago's encounter with Fatima in the oasis represents a love so profound it transcends possession. a connection that actually supports rather than derails his quest for authenticity. This portrayal challenges conventional ideas about love requiring sacrifice of personal dreams. Instead, Seelho suggests that genuine love recognizes and honors the beloved's personal legend, understanding that trying to cage someone's authentic self ultimately destroys what you claim to cherish. This vision of love carries profound implications for how you navigate relationships in an age of increasing codependency and fear-based attachments. The question becomes not whether love and personal calling can coexist, but whether any relationship that demands you abandon your authentic path can truly be called love at all. Fatima's willingness to let Santiago continue his journey reveals love as an act of ultimate trust, faith that what belongs to you will return transformed rather than diminished. The alchemist himself appears as Santiago nears the completion of his external journey, representing the wisdom that can only be accessed once you've demonstrated genuine commitment to your personal legend. His teachings reveal alchemy not as the transformation of metal into gold, but as the far more precious transformation of an ordinary life into an authentic one. You begin to understand that the real magic lies not in manipulating external circumstances, but in aligning so completely with your truth that life itself begins to support your deepest intentions. In our contemporary world of infinite options and constant digital stimulation, The Alchemist offers a countercultural invitation to simplicity and inner listening. When external voices compete endlessly for your attention, when algorithms predict your preferences better than you know them yourself, the novel's emphasis on heart-based navigation feels both ancient and urgently relevant. It suggests that beneath all the noise lies a deeper intelligence, a knowing that transcends data and analysis. The key takeaways crystallize into gentle but transformative realizations that your authentic calling is not a luxury but a necessity, and that the universe itself seems to reorganize around genuine commitment to truth. The signs and synchronicities you've been taught to dismiss as coincidence might actually be the language through which life speaks to those brave enough to listen. But this leaves you with a question that pierces through comfortable assumptions and reaches toward the core of how you want to live. If you trusted that your deepest calling was not selfish but necessary, not impractical but essential, what would you have the courage to begin tomorrow? As you sit with this inquiry, feeling its weight and possibility, you sense that perhaps the greatest treasure lies not in finding the right answer, but in developing the courage to live the question itself, day by day, choice by choice, trusting the mysterious intelligence that brought you this far to guide you toward whatever authentic treasure awaits.